Hello everyone and welcome back to me, Shiva Wilson, and my channel, which is all about legalising recreational flower in the UK. Dun, 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 dun. Check out the artwork in the background, Colorbird and the snazzy one, both done by me. Right, so today we're going to be talking about individual rights versus societal concerns in respect to flower legalisation. So apparently this is a really important and complex topic. Flower legalization raises several human rights issues and sparks a debate about where individual freedoms end and societal concerns begin. Here's a breakdown. Break it down now. Oh my god, what am I doing? Facepalm moment. Individual rights versus societal concerns, right? So the right to privacy and autonomy. Individuals have the right to make choices about their own bodies and to engage in activities that don't harm others. This includes the right to use flower for recreational or medicinal purposes. So this is the human rights here. The right to freedom of expression. Some argue that flower use can be a form of self-expression and that prohibiting it restricts freedom of expression. Yeah, that's how I want to live my life, kind of thing, right? This is how I express my living style, my lifestyle. The right to health. Wait a minute. I'm not saying it's me personally. That was an example. Right to health. Many believe that individuals have the right to access flower for medicinal purposes if it can provide relief from pain or other medical conditions. I think that's good. Yeah, we have the right to access health through flower. Discrimination. Laws that criminalize flower use have disproportionately impacted marginalized communities, leading to unjust arrests and incarceration. So that's a right to justice there. Social justice for flower users. Public health and safety. There are concerns about the potential negative effects of flower use, including addiction, impaired judgment, and traffic accidents. Public order and morals. Some societies hold strong moral objections to flower use and believe it undermines public order and social values. Well, what do we think of that, people? Is it really a moral issue here? Does it make people go crazy and create chaos in the streets when people are using flower? Well, I don't think so. Balancing act. Here we go. Let's see what we've got here. Finding a balance between individual rights and societal concerns is a delicate process, like a delicate flower, you could say. Here are some key considerations. Regulation versus prohibition. Prohibition often leads to black markets and criminal activity, while regulation allows for control and taxation. This is the thing I don't get why the governments, or our government in Britain, doesn't get, that they would like, I presume, they would like to take control over this market rather than leaving it going haphazardly to the black market. Age restrictions. Many countries set age limits for flower use to protect minors. Still, that's young people they're talking about there, not people with pickaxes. Public health measures. Education and prevention programs can help individuals make informed decisions about flower use. Yep. Workplace policies. Employers have the right to set policies regarding flower use in the workplace, especially in safety-sensitive roles. I think that goes without saying, really. Access to medicinal flower. Regulations should ensure access to safe and effective medicinal flower for those with qualifying medical conditions. Conclusion. The debate over flower legalization is ongoing and there are no easy answers. It's important to approach this topic with sensitivity and to engage in open and respectful dialogue about the complex interplay of individual rights and societal concerns. The human rights surrounding flower use are complex and intertwined with legal frameworks, cultural norms, and individual choices. So, let's have another look at these things here. So, the right to privacy and autonomy. So we have, the right to make choices about our own body. So that's the whole thing of like, it's my body. I get to choose what I put in it. And if it doesn't harm others, then what's it to you like? That's a really strong argument for why we should be allowed to use flower recreationally. So let's have another look down here, just at my notes. What else have we got? It's just I've written the same things over and over again. Personal liberty. The right to personal liberty implies the freedom to make choices about one's lifestyle, including leisure activities, which could include using flower for recreational or medicinal purposes. The harm principle. Here's another thing. The harm principle, articulated by John Stuart Mill, suggests that individuals should be free to do as they please as long as their actions do not harm others. This principle is often used to support the decriminalization or legalization of flower, arguing that the harm associated with its use is often outweighed by the harm caused by prohibition. So we've got some counter arguments and considerations as well. So potential harms. While the harm to others aspect of the statement is important, there are legitimate concerns about the potential harms associated with flower use, including addiction. Flower can, in some individuals, be addictive, and individuals with addiction disorders might require support and treatment. So that's why you would want to use tax revenue generated by flower sales in a regulated market to be ring-fenced for things like addiction treatment and awareness programs, educational programs about things like the harms associated with flower use. But I don't think you should just leave it at that. You should give a balanced educational program about the benefits of using it, how it's used in medical circumstances, what a high can feel like, what the dangers of addiction are, how it can impair you. So here we go, impaired cognitive function. Flower use can impair cognitive function, which could pose a risk to individuals and others, particularly in situations requiring alertness, such as driving. So you've got to have strong driving rules with flower use. Mental health impacts. There is evidence that flower use can exacerbate or trigger mental health issues in some individuals, for example, psychosis, schizophrenia. There's still ongoing research going into that at the moment, and some sources say that flower use does not cause psychosis, but there's some form of correlation rather than causation. Social impact. The use of flower can have broader societal impacts such as workplace safety. The potential for impaired performance and safety concerns can lead to workplace restrictions on flower use. So drug tests, Driving safety, as I've said just now, concerns about impaired driving due to flower use have led to stricter regulations and enforcement. Blah. Oh, that's it. I've gone through my whole thing. The question of whether an individual has an absolute right to use flower is complex and involves a delicate balance between individual liberty, public health, and social concerns. Different societies and legal systems have different approaches to regulating flower use, reflecting varying views on these considerations. So this is more of a grown-up discussion around what is flower and how can it be used, and should it be prohibited to be decriminalized or legalized, and why. And these are some really good discussions about, well, it's my freedom, but does it impact others? And trying to get the balance between, well, individual freedom and how it affects society is the discussion that needs to be had, really, rather than just blanket outright saying, no, it's a bad thing, therefore it should be illegal, without any real look at the complex nature of flower in individuals and society. So there you go. That's what I say to you. Legalize recreational flower in the UK. Good night.